What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. As always, bringing you incredible guests from around the world. So sit back, relax, and tune in. My next guest is an entrepreneur. You know I love my entrepreneurs. He is also the founder of Ethan's Shots, a healthy organic supplement, an alternative to the 5-hour energy shot. So you guys know I'm a health freak, so we'll sit back, relax, and listen to this conversation. Please welcome Ethan Hirschberg. Ethan, thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
joining us
much.
today. Woo woo.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Me too. Well, you're all about something I'm very passionate about. You know, I'm big into those shots. Like I do the turmeric shots. You know, I don't really do the 5-hour energy shots. I do other ones that, like, cayenne pepper, just ones that are
Yeah.
more for cleansing the body. So I want to hear kind of what got you into making your shots, because there has to be
Yeah,
a backstory there.
always a backstory, but that is actually where we started. So the first product I ever made, I worked for a beverage company before, learned how to manufacture, and the first product that I made in my kitchen was an apple cider vinegar, turmeric, black pepper, cayenne shot. So that would be right up your alley. We actually still have that line. We call it our daily detox line. So apple cider vinegar being kind of like the main ingredient to that line.
Yeah.
And then once we were making shots in these little 2-ounce glass bottles, we just kept expanding from there. I think for better or for worse, like, there are a lot of people who need gut health or detox products. They also need immunity, but certainly the leading function that we've found in terms of building the business has been around energy. Like, you go into a gas station or something like that. I was just at a gas station trade show, and it's like you're either selling like nicotine or energy products, So we still make those. We make so detox, immunity, and energy are kind of our three functions of focus.
Awesome. So, but did something happen that inspired you to create your own shots? Did you have a bad experience with something that you're like, this isn't good, I need to start my own thing?
So my first job out of college was with a coconut water company in San Francisco. Yeah. So I like grew up around the natural foods industry, care a lot about organics, learned a lot about organic agriculture, and found this beverage company that was just starting out that actually it's pretty well known now. It's called Harmless Harvest.
Okay.
But at that time it was like 10 employees. So I just applied and got a job there and ended up kind of doing like I said, just sort of like the product development, beverage manufacturing side. But that led me into just doing a ton of nutrition research. I mean, we were a small team, so it was kind of dependent upon us to think about where the company could go next and just research, kind of various beverage, not just trends, but like discuss scientific, study the white papers, see what was going on in the science world around beverage. And one of the things that I kept coming across, I don't know if you remember this, like paying attention to health stuff, was apple cider vinegar started kind of blowing up.
Yeah.
And so I, kind of just like in wanting to take care of myself, I was sort of transitioning out of like, when you're in college, early 20s, it's like you're not living the healthiest lifestyle.
No.
And then all of a sudden, but all of a sudden, like you have to, like work your 9 to 5 in the office, and like you have to kind of start taking better care of yourself. So I was sort of trying everything that I discovered, and some of them, I didn't really notice a difference. But when I started taking apple cider vinegar shots every morning, like I was reading on these health blogs, I immediately noticed a difference. Like primarily, I would say in my digestion,
Big time.
but just generally, like I felt better, cleaner. And so that was like really what kicked off my sort of like journey of starting to actually kind of like believe in some of these things that we see. And we have so much thrown at us all the time, right?
Yeah.
About it's like, take this, take magnesium, B12, apple cider vinegar, whatever it is. And I think people just feel bombarded. And so when I started making my own products, I went back to this, like the first thing that I had ever taken that actually made a difference for me, and started there. So that was how it all got kicked off.
That's awesome. That's a great story. So what was like? Did you start just making them yourself to test them out? Because there's got to be some criteria around what you offer as far as like a food product, a consumable product. So
Absolutely.
navigate, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so the first thing I did, which I've since learned not many companies do, but the first thing I did was hire a nutritionist, like a registered dietitian, because I was making stuff, like I had some product development background, but I didn't know, how much of what to put in there, what's safe, etc. So that was like my first move, was to hire someone who was more of an expert than I was in that. But yeah, so basically the process is like, I mean, we don't do it like this anymore, but when I was starting, it was like literally in my kitchen, mixing up products.
That's the best
She
way, though.
told, yeah, and she, so I would ask her, it's like, all right, I want to do a turmeric one. So then she would say, all right, you need this much turmeric to get the adequate amount of curcumin. You need this much apple cider vinegar. You also need to pair it with black pepper so that your body can absorb it. So she was telling me all this stuff that I didn't know, just to make sure that I had a product that was going to be effective.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's kind of where I started with, incorporating, making sure I had the right dosages of everything. And then, then like you said, I mean, as far as food safety and FDA process, like you have to find a factory who's certified to do that, and have to convince them to take a chance on you and your idea. And,
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of ideas about the brand name, so I just settled on Ethan's and
Yeah. Why
started
not?
making them, and yeah, and kind of off we went.
So how many products do you have today?
So we have 8 shots right now. So 4 energy shots, 2 detox, 2 immunes, and then we also have 3 powders. So if you've seen like the tear top stick packs, like that you pour into a water bottle kind of thing. So yeah, we're expanding. It's all kind of under this, like it all started with the apple cider vinegar, but now I feel like I'm trying to create this kind of like healthy, better for you, organic, kind of functional supplement brand. So shots, of course, was first, and then powders, and I can kind of hopefully see myself expanding into anything else that makes a difference for people. I know, I mean, gummies is obviously a really popular
I like
format. I have my issues. Well, I have some questions about gummies, but yeah, I think like the big takeaway for me, and if I were to, anyone who's interested in nutrition, is just like you just have to be careful out there, because people will slap anything on a label, and so that's sort of like always my big like warning sign, and something that we take really, really seriously, is making sure we've done the research so that we're delivering something that is going to be effective. But not everyone does that.
Yeah. So when it comes to like those shots, like I think that it's great to take them. Do you think people have to take them consistently to really reap the benefits, or can they take like one and done? What do you guys recommend?
Yeah, so it kind of depends. So certainly like for energy, it's so quick, and that's part of the reason why energy products are so popular, is because it's like instant gratification, right? It's like you take it, you feel what the effect in real time. Yeah, right. Like I have this energy shot behind me that has 200 milligrams of caffeine in it. It's like,
let's see it. People that are watching, take a look.
So this is our extra strength orange mango clean energy. They're glass bottles and aluminum caps, so no single use plastics. Also, but it's like, if you drink 200 milligrams of caffeine with B12 and B6, like you're gonna feel it right then. So that's sort of like certainly single use. I think when it comes to like kind of long term, building your health, like that's a routine that you have to get into. Like you can't do a quick fix. And I think one of the discoveries during COVID was like, we have immune products too, like I said, and most people's approach to immune prior was like, if you start feeling sick, you go to CVS and you grab emergency.
Not for me. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think probably, I mean, a very, very small silver lining to COVID is that I think people have started to think about their immune response like more seriously and holistically. It looks like you disagree, but
well, I agree and I disagree, because there's a fine line there. We won't get into it. Like if people were really investing in their immune system to begin with, and they understood, like, I mean, we all went to health class, so I don't get like why everybody freaked out about this. I mean, mainly from media, but there's really, for something that was a virus that was 98 point whatever percent recoverable, most people got through it just fine. Like there's no reason for people to run and get the vaccine. Sorry if anybody's listening or you, however you feel about it. But if you're investing in your immune system on a daily basis, like you should be, you would know that you would be just fine, and you wouldn't have to take all these different chemicals to protect yourself, because your immune system is very strong, very smart. Like our bodies are incredible machines. And so like I'm all about taking supplements on a daily basis to keep my immune system boosted, eating those good, meals, vegetables, whatever, to keep myself in a healthy place. So
Totally. And I mean, like all those things have to be built over the long term, to your point. Like, and I guess my point was that like in my experience so far, this is purely anecdotal, but I do like more people that I talk to, I think, are thinking about immunity and now gut. Like gut is a big one, right? Like the gut biome. Like people didn't used to really talk about that stuff as much, but I think now they're starting to understand that it's something that you have to kind of like build into your routine in order to build your gut biome, right? Like it's a complicated thing, but or build your immune response so that whatever comes along, your body is in a place where it can respond effectively. As opposed to just dumping a bag of vitamin C into your water when you start feeling sick. Like that's not gonna,
no,
sorry, but it's not gonna do it, so yeah.
I totally agree. Yeah. So you guys offer something for gut health as well?
Well, so that would be, so our apple cider, our detox line, like the apple cider vinegar is great for your gut. We also have we have one with ginger, we have a turmeric one and a ginger one. So those have pretty great gut effects. But it's like to go back to my theme, I just think it's really hard for people. Like you see probiotic, you go to the grocery store shelf and it's like 1 billion CFUs of this probiotic, and you're like, well, I think that's good, but how are people really supposed to know exactly where to turn? They know they want to improve their gut biome, but it's tricky.
What's your research process like? I'm curious.
Yeah, well, right, because I mean, I get something comes across like either from me or my head of R&D, like something, we discover a new thing every week, right? Like I was saying, so it's tricky for us as well as the consumer. Like it's not like we know any better, but the only difference is like when I see something interesting that I think fits in our like under our umbrella, which like I told you is like this really focused like functional supplement. And so there's really only a handful of key functions that I'm concerned about. Gut health is one, immune, energy, sleep is one that like everybody's trying to solve. They're looking for the silver bullet. It's not melatonin.
No, melatonin does not work for me.
Yeah, me either. And so we're constantly researching, sending stuff to our nutritionist, and then when she'll read through all the white papers and come back to us and say, hey, I think this might have some real like legitimate effect here. One that's popped up recently is magnesium. Like I don't know what you know about magnesium, but that's one that she kind of flagged for us. So then we start kind of integrating that into our product development process. I will say the first thing, this is like, again, maybe a little bit abnormal, not to pat myself on the back too much, but like I have various sleep shots
I love
here
it.
that I try myself, you know? And I tried every version. We did 70 versions of the energy shot before it went to market, and I tried every single one myself, just to see how it affects me. So and then we go kind of back and forth with the nutritionist and start to see if we can make a product out of it that's helpful. But I also just I like to talk to people and hear, I mean, I can't tell you how many people I talk to, I'm sure you as well, like they can't nail the sleep thing. Like they're struggling to sleep, and they they try the melatonin, but then they start having nightmares. They can't wake up in the morning. They're groggy or whatever. And so like my ear, like I perk up because I'm like, oh, this is like a problem that needs solving.
You guys, I'm so excited. Ethan has offered us a discount code specifically for you so that you live a healthier, better life. He's given us 20% off, label free 20, right, Ethan? Where can they go to get that discount?
So you can get that at ethans.com, ethans.com, and just apply it at checkout.
Excellent. So do not hesitate. Get your energy on, get your sleep on, get your immunity on, everything on that you need to keep yourself healthy, because he is doing a great thing out there with this product. LABELFREE20 at ethans.com. You won't be disappointed. Thanks, guys. So I struggle with sleep. So yeah, I take ZMAs. I just have to run myself into the ground, or else I'm like up. But it's like that's more of a mental thing. Your body's tired. You're tired, but mentally it's hard to shut your mind off. And I think like maybe that's something that people struggle with. And I mean, I don't know what's out there that would be an option naturally and organically to kind of calm the mind down. I have connected with a gentleman that's all about like sounds, and so he's created an app for people to, if they have problems with sleeping, that it instantly puts them to sleep. I'm like, that's crazy. I want to check that out, because, I struggle with it. Like the ZMAs I think they might help a little bit because it's zinc, magnesium, and arginine, But one that does work for me is Walsam. It's over the corner at Walgreens. It's not addictive. It's not, you can just buy it like you can buy Tylenol. It works, but I do wake up groggy in the morning. And so I don't want to feel that way, so it's, I think it's something that it is a problem, and I would love for you to find a solution. So come on.
I'm working on it. Yeah, but no, and I think like it's hard. It's like if you really want to solve any kind of like health thing, it takes trial and error, which is not what people want to hear, and I understand that. It's like you just want to be told what's going to solve the problem, but everyone has different responses to almost everything. And I think the other thing that you were kind of touching on a little bit is like, it's possible that a supplement isn't the answer. It's possible that it's like getting off your phone 2 hours before bedtime, breath work, meditation, like all these different factors that you can throw
all
in
together. So your shot, some music and some meditation. That'll put you right.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's like a triple whammy, man. You're like knocked out.
Totally. Yeah. No, but I think we're all in kind of constant pursuit to feel better, and that's like a lifelong project, I think, for most people.
For sure. So you weren't always an entrepreneur, right? Did you start out in the corporate world?
Well, yeah. So I had this job at this beverage company. I wouldn't call it corporate because it was like very startup-y. But yeah, I kind of got a taste for, I understand that it's not for everybody, but I personally found a lot of gratification in like working with a small business, and one that was, everything's live or die. Like, and
is that how you live now?
Starting your own company is like, you can't really. I mean, the only difference there is I felt like with this, I really like put myself out there. My name's on it. It's like I do podcasts. I try to like, I'm not. I think that's been the most uncomfortable thing for me is like becoming the face, and I asked for it too. But, and to be honest, it's not my favorite thing. But when you have your own business, it's like you'll do anything for it.
You have to,
yeah.
You gotta be the place for yourself and self-promote, because I was not comfortable with that either. And it's like when you put yourself out there in any way or shape or form, it's like you are subject to rejection, subject to scrutiny, to judgment, to all different things that it's like a little scary. But when you just kind of get over that, it's so good.
Yeah, I'm not over it yet, but that's
you're doing pretty good today, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Thanks. No, it's inspiring to hear, and I think like if you look at a lot of people who have gotten over it, and it's been like the key obstacle for them in building whatever they wanted to build. And somebody at some point told me like, people aren't thinking about you as much as you think they're thinking about you.
Yeah.
And basically, like, you're not that important. So just like get out there and do it, And I'm like, yeah, that's true. But no, I think that's for anybody, doesn't have to be a business, anybody building or doing anything, or even like over networking on LinkedIn or whatever it is. It's like you have to put yourself out there, and that's uncomfortable.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so I knock on wood. I don't know what it's like really to be in the corporate world. I don't really intend to find out, like, if I can, make this business go, or, even the next thing. Like, I think I personally am, maybe a little bit addicted, but just definitely really passionate for the grind of like the early stage business.
I think you're setting yourself up for success. I think you're good. Where can people find you, connect with you, and purchase some shots?
Okay, so we are carried various products in CVS nationwide, Whole Foods. We actually, I can say it now. We are launching Walgreens this month, so that's cool too. So a lot of pharmacies, and then obviously on Amazon and our website, which is just ethans.com. And so yeah, we appreciate anyone giving us a try.
Excellent. You guys, I'm going to put those links, his link in the show notes. I'm assuming you're on social media too. Yeah.
Oh, social media at Drink Ethans, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, we're on it.
Very cool. So you guys go buy a shot and go tag him on social and show support for this guy and his product, because we all could live a healthier, better life. You heard it here first. So before we say goodbye, Ethan, any last words of wisdom or advice you'd like to share with us today?
No, I mean, I think I wasn't really sure where this conversation was gonna go, but it went to a few places. But I would say on the health stuff, everybody's different, trial and error, and be careful what or believing stuff that's on the label. So,
ooh, I like that. Kind of goes in. That's good. That's good. I like it. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. Congratulations on your success. We wish you even more continued success. So I'm excited to go try some of your shots. I got a Walgreens right down the street, and I'm a big fan of Amazon like most people. So I'm going to have to order me some.
That's usually where people go.
Yeah.
Which is great. Yeah.
Fantastic. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcasts. Live your best life. You must live label free. Please don't forget to subscribe, follow, rate, review, comment, share, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.